Hi guys, very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the video number 444. My name is Ajay Parmar, and in this video today we are going to talk about some of very fantastic interesting questions on date. And of course, because we are going to talk about the date, so in this video, apart from the date, we are also going to talk about the questions which are on the dates which I'm going to share with you. We will see that how we can actually give the solution, how we can find out the solutions using DMAX, DMIN, index, large and small functions. Right now, this is my channel, youtube.com/c/Ajay Kumar Parmar. If you're watching the channel for the first time, welcome to the channel. And I can say very proudly that you have actually come to the right platform, because here you will find all the amazing 444 videos on Excel, Excel VBA, MS Access and Access VBA. What you need to do is, if you are looking for any sort of particular the subject, just go to the playlist, and here you'll find 45 different playlists. As you can see, if I just scroll it down, every title talks about the separate subject, and looking at the title you would understand whether this talks about the Access or Access VBA or Excel or Excel VBA, right? So these are all the playlists, and if you want to actually learn them in a proper sequence, then guys, what you can do is you can pause the video and you can see this is the sequence you should follow for the Excel VBA. This is the sequence of the playlist which I have created for the Excel, and this is for the Access, and this is for the Access VBA. Right now, in this video, what we are going to do is we're going to talk about, as I said, D function. So if you don't have any idea about the D function, you can go and check this Excel D function family. If you do not have any idea about the index function, go and check this Excel index playlist as well, right? So you'll find everything. And if you don't know how the dates are stored, how the date works, this is another playlist for you, which is Excel date function. And then we have the Excel large and the small function playlist as well. This is also the playlist which you can go and watch, because in this I'm going to use that, right? So now let's go and discuss about the today's questions which you can face in your interview. Right now, this is not going to be the basic basic Excel test. This is actually the intermediate level of the Excel test, right? So first of all, let us go and see that what is the data. So this data we have here, serial number, date and revenue. Somebody asked me this, and the questions were really interesting, so I thought I will definitely want to share it with you. And so today I'm going to share this all the three questions for you, right? So now let's go ahead. I'm not really going to keep you waiting. Let's immediately start this. So we have the date and we have the revenue here. You can see here. Now the first question which says that which date actually has the maximum revenue. Now if you look at these revenue numbers, now if you look at the data, now in this data the maximum revenue, it's actually for the 400, which is the date is actually the 6th of July. So on the 6th of July I actually had got the I beg your pardon, it's actually 8th of August. On the 8th of August we got the maximum revenue, right? Now how to get this number? So we are going to use the two approaches, right? Now the first approach is, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to find out what is the largest number, what is the biggest number here in this revenue. And for that, guys, what you're going to do is you're simply going to use the large function here. Okay, let me just zoom this a little more. Yeah, so you're going to actually use the large function here, and to use the large function, and so first of all, why we are actually using the large function? Well, we are using the large function because in the large you have the k parameter. Now the k decides that which largest number you want. You want the first largest number, second largest number, third largest number, right? So in this case I can also use the max. That's okay, right? But why I'm using the large, because just in case if you have a question that which date has the second maximum revenue, then guys, what you can do is you select this entire C2C table. Make sure that you shouldn't have any data after this row number 9, because then that number is also going to be used if you have another data. So prefer using this table then if you don't have the data. If you have the data, a different table after this row number 9, so you can use whatever you want, right? So for example, I select this, let me press F4. F4 basically is the shortcut key which inserts the $, right? And then we need the largest number, which is the k, so I'm just going to use the 1 here. So you see that the moment I press enter, I'm going to get the 444. Now you can also use the max function. For example, you can simply write here max, and you can say that I just want the maximum number of this table. This is also fine, guys, as long as you're here to support, find out the largest number, the maximum revenue. You can use whatever, right? But if you have a second largest number or third largest number, a date which has the second highest revenue or the third highest revenue, then in this you use that second highest, you use the third highest. This is how it is, right? So I'm going to use this 444. Now once you got the 444, now using the index function, what we are going to do is I'm going to find out the row number of this 444 in this table, right? And once I find the row number of this 444, what I will do, I will go in this table and I will say that capture the row number, whatever the row number I have for my 444, which is right now is 6, and in the row number 6 the column number 1. So what will happen, because in this table, this is just a one table, we are going to select in the index, that becomes the first column and the sixth row, you know, wherever that sixth row and the first column is going to intersect, that's the point we need. So how to use that? Now you can use the index separately as well, but I will not do that, right? You simply go and use the index function directly here. Now I use the index function. Next parameter is array. What is my array? Array means your table. So you define your table like this. You can freeze the table, and then in the row number, what do you need in the row number? So in the row number, actually I'm looking for the row number of this value 444. So what you will do, you will use the match function here, and then in the match, this lookup is going to be picked up as large function. You know that large function returned me 444. So I'm going to look up this 444 in the table which starts from here. Make sure that C1 to C9 and B1 to B9, they should start from the same number of row and they should end at the same number of row, right? This is very much important, because then the match will give you the different row number, and for the index it will be a different if you don't have these in a proper sync, right? So this is very important for us. So once you have the table here, you can freeze the table and then match type. So I need the 0 because I need the exact match. So this entire function, guys, this is going to give me the row number, which is the position number of my maximum value, which is 444. And then I close the function and then I press comma, and now I'm back on the index function. As you can see here, I'm back on the index function. Now I'm going to say that once I find the row number of this 444, so in this table now, this goes in the 6th row, and this should go in the 6th row and the first column. So you're gonna write here column number 1. For the column number, we don't need any formula because we know that this table has only one column. So let me press quickly, you know, this enter, and we got this 42955. Now what you can do is you can quickly go to the format cell and make this short date or whatever you want to do it, right? So you look at this, guys, it says 8 August 2017. That's really amazing. Now if you want to have a look at how actually it worked, you know, you can go here and you can see that evaluate formula. So this is how we actually planned. First of all, the large function is going to pick up the value, the first largest number in the C2 to C9. So I click on the evaluate, that, you know, it is going to be the 444. Now once we have the 444, what will happen, this match is going to find out this 444 in the table called C1 to C9, which is this table C1 to C9, and then we will have the position of that number. If you click evaluate, you get the position of the 6th of that number. Now this becomes your index formula, because first the inner functions get executed. So now we have this index in the B1 to B9, which is a table having one column. We are saying that go to the 6th row and go to the first column of it. So when I click on the evaluate, ultimately index goes there, because index always works in the combination with the combination of row number and column number, right? So similarly, guys, you can do the same calculation for this which date has the maximum revenue. I can simply use here a small function. You can also use the min function. That's all up to you. How do you want to do it? So let me just go and use this date function here, and so I'm just going to write here to evaluate this date, I'm going to use the small function. So I use the small function, and then I go in this table, and then I'm going to find the smallest number, right? So once you find the smallest number, so first of all we have to change this to the, you know, because I did this paintbrush, so this is what it actually says, right? So this is the 22, which is 22.00, but I mean you can make it general as well. So this is the smallest number. Now once we have the smallest number, what I need to do is you can create the index function here, go in this table which has only one column, and then what we can do is again we can use the match. So the match is going to look up the value which is the smallest number 22, and in this table, right? So in this table it is going to look up this 22, and we will have the exact match from this. Okay, so first of all we will select the table which I have to select is this is the table. I will go and select that, and in this table I need the exact match. Once you through with the match function, press comma, and now we are back on the column number. So in the column number I'm going to use this as 1, because I say that what if the row number this 22 has and the column number 1 of this table, remember of this table, right, this table we are talking about B2 to B1 to B9. So let us, please give us the value. Now you have your value back here. If I just go and change this back to, you know, this basically the long, or what you can do is, no need to change the formatting, you can also go ahead and use this text function. So whatever the value we have, when we know that it is going to give us the, you know, this date value, you can write here text function as well. Now this returns me 13th October, which is absolutely perfect. You can see that I got the 13th of October as the minimum, as the date where we have the minimum revenue, the lowest revenue. In fact, if you want to write it triple M, you can do that. I mean, if you want to show it in a different way, when you press, you will see the month OCT instead of the month number as a number, you know, as 10, you would see there October as well, OCT, right? Now before I go for the next question, if you are watching this video carefully, immediately you have one question in your mind, which is that how about this 27th of March? Because this is also the value which actually ideally should be the answer, because that's the lowest date. Now the question is, which date has the minimum revenue? Now this date also has the minimum revenue, this date also has the minimum revenue, but if you want to see that the date which is shorter, which is the shortest date having the minimum revenue, then what to do? So in this case, two dates are clashing, because this also gives me the revenue of 22 and this also gives me the revenue of $22. So ideally, if I'm looking for the date with having the lowest number, with having the, I would say the smallest date, actually, you know, the smallest date, then I should be picking up this 27th of March, right? Because you know what happens, it could be otherwise also. I mean, you may be looking for the, for example, here we found out 8th of August as 444. So what about, guys, if I write here 444, for example, right? So when I press enter, you see that what's the date coming? It's the date is coming 3rd of June. But you may be here looking for the date which is the largest, which is the maximum date, you know, the biggest date where we have the maximum revenue. So if this and this, if these two rows are going to clash, or maybe we have some more number of rows are going to clash, then it should check that what is the maximum date, which one is the maximum date, and it should return that maximum date, right, the greater date, or it could be otherwise the smallest date. In that case, this is not going to work, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because what happens when you're going to use this match function, when you're going to use this match function, immediately you will have this. For example, in this case we found that 444 is the largest number. Now 444 is here and is here, so when the match is going to work, it starts its counting from the top, and the moment it finds this 444, it is not going to move forward. And this is how the functions are designed, guys, right? If you know the VLOOKUP function, in the VLOOKUP function, why we say that VLOOKUP is not good when you have a lookup in the repetition, because it picks up the first value only and it never goes there, and which makes the sense also, because you know, once you have the calculation started, it always stops, you know, at the point where actually it is where you actually have asked that function to find out the value, why it would go further, right? So we now here going to talk about another solution. If you don't have a repetition, if this data is not repeated, then we are good to go with this formula. You can simply use that, right? But most of the time you may have this problem, especially in your interview, they can give you these numbers, you know, repeated. So in that case, what you need to do is you need to use the function called DMAX if you're looking for the largest date. If you're looking for the smallest date having the clashes in the revenue, go for the D minimum function. So what I'm going to do, guys, here I'm going to use the DMAX function here. This is the function which I'm going to use. Now let me tell you actually why we are, you know, how we actually going to use this DMAX function here. Okay, so first of all, when you write the DMAX, understand the function. It is a database, it is a field, it is a criteria. If you want to get more information, I told you where to go. We have the DLOOKUP series, go and watch that. Now what is the DMAX? So DMAX, basically what happens, it returns the maximum date automatically, provided you select the database and you select the field and you select the criteria. Okay, now in this case the database is going to be this, very simple. This is my database, and what is the field? The field means that which field basically you want to return. Now I want to return this, basically the date here, so you can select that B1. You can also write this date in the quotes, guys, that's all up to you. Okay, you can write this in this way as well, or maybe you can write the number as well, because in your table date actually is coming on the second, you know, this index. So whatever choice you have so many choices. Whatever you think is suitable, you are comfortable with, go for that. Now what is the important thing is that the criteria. So we want to actually see that what is the criteria. Now in the this D family functions where you use the DMAX, DMIN and dget, you know, we actually want to create the criteria here, and for the criteria you need to first of all select the header. You need to choose the header. So the criteria is going to be on the revenue, right, because we are going to find out the date basis the revenue. So you're going to actually write the revenue here. You can write this revenue anywhere, right? Make sure that there should be no spelling mistakes, right? So I am going to write the revenue as it is, and now here what we are going to write is we're going to write here 444, because that's the actually the maximum revenue so far. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now once you do that, so you can also put the max function here, that's okay, right? You can use the max function here to automate this, because tomorrow if any value changes to, let's say, 999, this is going to give you the 999, right? So we are fine with that. Now once you have done that, now come back to the, you know, this function which is your DMAX. I just go and select the DMAX function. I select the entire data, and in the data, as I said, you got to find the field which is date, so write the 2 there and the criteria. So this is how you're going to choose the criteria. Once you press enter, you're gonna see that the date as 8th of August, which makes a lot of sense, guys. Here you see that. So we have here now the date as 8th of August. It did not capture the 3rd of June, right? So DMAX is really very powerful. So in a nutshell, if I have to explain you where you're supposed to use the DMAX, whenever you have a repetition in the criterias, and like in this case we have the repetition in the revenue, and you want to pick up the max value, you can use that, right? So in this way you can use this. I remember a long time back when I was working in a BPO industry, call center industry, we had this situation where we had the call volume which was coming on the IVR, and you know, half an hour intervals were there, like 8 to 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 to 9 in the morning, and 9 to 9:30 in the morning, you know, and so on. We had all that, the timetable, and we used to make the analysis on that, and many times it used to come that which interval has got the maximum value, the number of the calls, you know, where the customers are calling, you know, the maximum number of calls we are receiving in the IVR, right, in which interval. So there we used to have a lot of intervals where we used to have the same number of call volumes, so there we can use that, right? So this is how it is, and same you will have to do for this, you know, for this DMIN, right? You create here another header, and then here you just write the main function. So I'm just going to write here the main function. There we go. Now the main function, when you write, you will write here DMIN, and again you choose the data, and then in the data you can go and write the date. This time I'm writing the date, right? So the criteria has to be this criteria. So you know that 22 is going to clash, right, with 13th October and 27th of March. So your answer should be 27th of the March, and there we go, guys. You can see that it actually says 27th of the March, right? The moment I change this number to, let's say, maybe let's say 444, you see that what will happen. Look at this, it automatically changes back to the 13th of October, which is this date. So guys, this is very interesting, very important function, right? And if I just go and change this to 22, let me show you. So let's say if I go and let's say I write here 22 again, and I'm going to simply change this date to maybe something else. Maybe I say that minus this one. Look at this. This is going to give you the 30th of April, because 30th of April having the 22, the lowest revenue is the minimum date, because 12th October, 27th of March, they are greater, right? So in that way, in this situation, you can definitely go and use this DMIN and DMAX, and or otherwise you have the option. You can see that these index functions also you can use, right? So finally, the last question: how many working days we have between March 29 and December 31st? So we have the 29th of March here, and 31st December is not there. So maybe if I just go and write here, let's say 31st of December, okay? You can write this anywhere, right? So this is the 31st of December. Now, to calculate the working days, we can use the network days. You use the network days. By default, it is going to exclude the Saturday and Sunday. Okay, if you are not looking for the Saturday and Sunday, your company works on the different concept, you may have Monday, Tuesday as your off, so you can use the network days international, and there you will have this option called the that what is your weekend, right? So for example, if I talk about the network international day, what is the start date? So start date is going to be your this, let's say 29th of March, and the end date is going to be 31st of December, and then the weekend, you can choose the weekend from here as well. If you just simply use the network days, by default it is going to consider Saturday, Sunday, and you won't see that this weekend parameter there. But in the network international, we have this parameter, so you can select anything from here. If your company works 6 days, you can use this as well, right? But they haven't mentioned in this question right now, so I just take this as Saturday and Sunday. And do you have any holidays which you want to take into calculation? Well, I don't have that in this question. The question which was given to me, I didn't have that, so you don't have to select that, right? So you can simply go and just say this and press enter, and the number of days are going to come. Just make sure that you should be back on the general formatting. So guys, we have 198 days excluding Saturday and Sunday as working days, right? So that's it for now, and I hope you enjoyed this. And I can simply go and remove the equals to sign from here, so that you can see that how basically we worked on these formulas. DMIN is, this is the function. Let me remove the equals to sign from here, and this is finally your function. So that's it for guys for now, and I wish you best of luck. Don't forget to watch all those 41 Excel the videos on the Excel interviews, VBA interviews, and Access interviews. You need to just simply go to the playlist which I have. Let me show you here. There is Excel VBA Access interview questions. This is the playlist where you will find 40 more videos on that. Subscribe to the channel, share this channel, support me, and if you have any questions, as usual, please post your comment there. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.